Hello folks, welcome back to Side Fishes, and I've bought myself a new floating retention sling. Watching videos about the NGT one, watching other videos about other companies, and I came across the Ridge Monkey one. Comparing the Ridge Monkey to the NGT one, they were so similar, almost identical, and you can imagine that the Ridge Monkey one is going to be way more expensive than this. So the first thing to notice is how light it is. It weighs nothing really. So the first thing to notice is the handles. Each one has a ring in the centre for weighing your fish, so you can hook your scales on there, lift it up, or you can hook it onto a tripod and that'll take the weight for you. Stops any movement, the ring being in the centre. The next thing I noticed is it's mesh completely all the way to the bottom, so when you're lifting a fish out of the water you won't have that extra weight because all the water will drain away. The next thing that I really like about this is you have these arms velcroed to the side for when you're not using it, but when you do need them you can velcro it across like that and it keeps it rigid for when it's floating in the water. If I show you the other end, other slings that don't have these can close up like that and it may restrict the fish a little, but with these arms you can velcro it across to one side and it stops it closing up. Keeps it rigid. The next thing I noticed was you've got these reflectors. So if you're searching at night in the water's edge, your torch will reflect off these, making it much easier to spot this if you've got a fish in there and you want to take it out for pictures and put it back. Each side of this retention sling has a float and it runs the full length, keeping it super buoyant when it's in the lake. If you flip it over on one of the ends, let's go to this end, there's a little pocket. You open up the pocket and there is a retention rope. I'm guessing that's about I'm not going to unwrap it, but I'm saying 3 meters long maybe. And on the end of the rope there's a ring with a threaded end attached. So you hammer the bank stick in the ground, screw that in place, and then you've got this long cord so this can float in the lake. It doesn't have to be tight to the bank because that's quite a long cord. You've got maybe 3 meters. You can push that away from the bank. If it's really shallow near the edge, you don't want the fish to be too close to the bank, so having this retention cord quite long, you can push it away from the bank into deeper water. You pop that back inside, it's got a little velcro pocket so there's no chance of it falling out. So the next thing to look at is the zips to see if they're decent. Let's just put these little velcro stiff arms back there for when you need them. So the zips, you'd think on a cheaper branded product they cut corners, but it doesn't seem so. These zips, they just seem amazing. Look, they don't get caught at all. So let's just take a look how far the zip goes down on the outside. That'll help with releasing the fish. So the zip itself, it goes pretty much to the bottom of the retainer. So when you're releasing a fish, it'll just make it so much easier because the zip goes all the way down. So I'm just going to measure it because I'm thinking you want a retainer that can handle the biggest of carp. So let's have a measure. So that's just over 120 centimetres long. I don't know if there's any carp in the UK that are as long as that, so even a £50 carp I don't imagine is that length. If you're fishing in Europe then maybe you want something a bit bigger, but this could handle any carp in the UK. So as you can see there, NGT XPR flotation sling. And I've just noticed one more thing. There's another hook in the centre there, which is kind of spring loaded so you can hook something to it, but I don't actually know what that's for. If you've got any ideas what this might be for, right in the middle of the sling, write in the comments. So here's the moment you've been waiting for. The price. £21, 21p. I just can't believe how cheap this is. I've not had a look at the Ridge Monkey one, but I'm gonna get it up on my phone to compare. I can't believe everything that Sling can do for £21, 21p. Well, this is actually cheaper than I thought it would be. This is the Ridge Monkey one that I was talking about. Let's scroll. Ridge Monkey Pro Care Retainer Sling, $59.99. But what a difference, eh? £21, 21p compared to 60 quid. And one more thing that I forgot to mention, on the end of each side you've got the double handles, so if you've got a really big fish and you need a hand getting it out of the lake and then taking it back to release, you can get a friend to hold one end, or if you're on your own, it's quite good to hold the ends instead of the centre. You don't really want to remove it from the lake. Holding this, especially if it's a big fish, because you're kind of off balance. If you're holding the handles on the end, you've got more balance, you're more in control, especially if you've got a friend to give you a hand. And I just want to mention how well made they seem. With some cheaper products, sometimes the stitching isn't great and you might see the odd strand hanging out, but it just seems so well made. Everything about it. Once again, for 21 quid. I can't believe you get this for 21 quid, it's amazing. If you thought NGT was cheap and tacky, you need to go and take a look at their products, because what they're bringing out nowadays is so much better than what it used to be. They've really improved their tackle, their nets, their slings. So thanks for watching everyone. I hope you like the content I'm bringing you. I'm going to wrap this up and I'm going to take a look at my new NGT pod. Look out for this video as well. See you soon everyone.